Moment of silence for the champions, for those who make going hard a lifestyle. Never wait for nothing, gotta get it right now.
What's up, Packer fans? Welcome back to Cheesehead Talk. It's your boy Tramel, coming back with another video. The Green Bay Packers fall to the Oakland Raiders 22-21 in their Week 3 preseason matchup. Let's talk about it. This game was hard to watch. It was very hard to watch the entire way. And before the game started, we didn't even know if we were going to have a game or not due to bad field conditions at Winnipeg, Canada. There were holes in both end zones, so they ended up having to shorten the field to 80 yards. So the 10-yard lines on both sides of the football field were the end zones in this game. And I find it absolutely ridiculous that the day of the game, we're finding out they're bad field conditions. You had so much time to prepare for this game, and we find out on the day of the game they're bad field conditions. So I wish this game was completely canceled. One, because it was very boring. And two, because of the injuries that were suffered in this game. We suffered some key injuries to this football team. Curtis Bolton suffered an injury. I'm not sure what the injury was, but he was spotted with crutches and a brace on his knee. Also, Rashawn Gary suffered an injury, but he posted on his Instagram that he's okay. And Equinemius St. Brown suffered an injury as well, and his looked to be the most serious. It looked to be an ankle injury for Equinemius St. Brown, and it's looking like he's going to miss a lot of time in 2019. I'm not sure what the injury was, but we'll find out soon. And due to the bad field conditions, none of the Packers starters played in this game, so Tim Boyle got the start for the Packers. He went 16 for 25, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 114 passer rating. And he really got off to a rough start in that first quarter. He played poorly in that first quarter. But once the second quarter came, he was excellent. And it looks like he's going to be quarterback number 2 for this Packers roster now. I think he's the second quarterback on the Packers depth chart going into 2019. I'm not comfortable with him being quarterback number 2, but he's the best option that we have on this roster. And I still think if something happens to Rodgers, we're screwed. But he's the best option that we have on the roster, and it's looking like he's quarterback number 2. The run game continues to struggle. They did absolutely nothing in this game. Again, they had 29 carries for 94 rushing yards. Trey Carson had 9 carries for 32 yards. Dexter Williams had 11 carries for 27 yards. Trevor Davis had 1 carry for 18 yards. Keith Ford had 6 carries for 11 yards. And Deshaun Kaiser had 1 carry for 6 yards. My standout guys in this game. I had 4 standout guys in this football game. Trevor Davis was one of them. He had 5 catches, 78 yards, a touchdown, and 18 rushing yards. And he just showed his versatility in this game. Whether it was on the jet sweep, in the special teams, or the receiving game, I think Trevor Davis is now locked on this 53-man roster. Darius Shepard was another standout guy. He had 3 catches for 40 yards, and he made a lot of tough catches in this game. And he's been very good in training camp and in the preseason for the Green Bay Packers. And he's the only true slot receiver that this team has right now. And it's going to be very hard to cut him and move on from him going into 2019. So I think the Packers are going to keep him on this 53-man roster, and I think they're going to go with 7 receivers going into the 2019 season. Another standout guy was Chandon Sullivan, the cornerback. He's been very good in the preseason. He had 3 pass breakups in this game, and he's been making some big plays for the Packers in the 2019 preseason. I wonder if he's going to make the team. It's going to be very tough for him to make the team due to the cornerback depth that we have, but he's been very solid for the Packers in the 2019 preseason. And my last and final standout guy for this game was J.K. Scott. J.K. Scott has been excellent in the preseason this year. And we just need him to continue to do that in the regular season. We just need his consistency. He was good last season, but his problem was consistency. And we need him to be consistent in 2019. So J.K. Scott was my final standout guy for this preseason game. Now the guys who struggled. I had 2 guys on my list, and one of them was Cole Madison. He really struggled. He had a lot of holding penalties in this game. I believe he had 3 holding penalties. And he looked bad. He had a rough game. Another guy who struggled for the second week in a row, nothing new, Deshaun Kaiser. He was 4 of 7, 24 yards, an interception, a passer rating of 24.4, and they scored 0 points with him in the second half. All their points were scored with Tim Boyle in that first half. And going into the 2019 preseason, it was Deshaun Kaiser's job to lose. All he had to do was play very poorly in the preseason to lose his job, and he did just that. And I think now he's been demoted to quarterback number 3. And I'm not even sure if the Packers are going to keep 3 quarterbacks going into 2019. I think the Packers might part ways with Deshaun Kaiser, and I'm all in for it because he's shown no type of growth. He's shown no type of improvement at all. And he's been bad ever since he's been with the Green Bay Packers. He's been bad his whole career. So if the Packers part ways with him, I'm fine with it. But that was my recap for the Green Bay Packers Week 3 preseason matchup against the Oakland Raiders. They fall 22-21 on the game-winning field goal, and it was a boring game to watch. I'm just ready for the regular season to start now. Can't wait till the regular season starts. Can't wait till Week 1 against the Chicago Bears, Thursday Night Football. It's going to be very exciting. I'm just ready to fast forward to Week 1. But leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and also follow the social media on Instagram and on Twitter at Cheesehead_talk. Again, that's Cheesehead_talk. Go Pack, go.